Cool. So, welcome to North Shore Entrepreneurs Podcast. With me, the host, I'm Jordan Russum, where we celebrate and learn from the success of North Shore entrepreneurs to give our listeners the courage to go out and go do their own thing. My guests today are Vivienne and Victor, co-owners of Groove Club Hawaii. My 3-year-old Sage is actually in their class, so that's how I first came about their classes, and was shocked by the 300-person dance recital, the first one I went to. So that piqued my interest. Vivienne and Victor, so good to have you guys on the show today. Thanks for joining the podcast. Why don't we just start off with a high-level overview of the business? Like, what services do you offer? Where are you located? Yeah, just a high-level overview would be great.
So I'm Vivienne, this is Victor, and like he said, we run Groove Club Hawaii, which is a dance program that we run at a couple different locations on the island. So we have a location in Wailua, Mililani, and Kapolei. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. And we host classes for kids ages 3 and up, and they're just focused on fun and friendship and just learning something new with your friends. So we do hip hop, ballet, jazz. We have a boys crew with Victor. So it's just a lot of fun, and we love it. We started a year ago, so we've been in business for just about over a year now, and it's growing, and we're loving it, loving the journey.
Cool. Would love to go take a step back. If you guys could just give me a little overview of where'd you grow up, maybe when you were first introduced to dance or performance, or when that interest came about. But maybe Victor, you want to start?
Yeah. Well, my name is Victor, and like you hear, I have a funny accent because I'm from Sweden. Came from the cold country Sweden to beautiful warm Hawaii. But the journey with just background of dancing, really, it's kind of it was a long time ago, but I would think I was 11. I remember my neighbor showed me how to do a moonwalk, and that was incredible. I was like, how did you move like that? He was not a good dancer, but he just did that. And then I tried to learn how to do that, and then kind of evolved to this whole thing where I started learning how to do all these Michael Jackson moves and went to dance classes, and then kind of grew the interest from that. So
you started doing dance classes in Sweden?
Yes, okay. In Sweden. I actually also went to something called a dance gymnasium. So how I can translate that to the American way would be like a high school, but focused on dance. So I have some background in dancing, just doing that, kind of with school and stuff like that.
And is that a general dance, or is it specific types?
It's contemporary, and then it's ballet, and it's jazz techniques. That's kind of the base of it. But it was a lot of creative room to do whatever you like, basically. So
okay, yeah. And then when did you move to the US? I guess, what did that look like?
Well, 2019 was the year, and then that was also when I met Vivienne. So it was pretty nice visit, I would say. So that was 2019, and then I came to Hawaii. So it's been a long time. So with COVID, maybe a little back and forth, but overall, it's been since 2019. I've been around.
Okay, cool. And Vivienne, what about you?
Yes, so I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, grew up dancing like most little kids, doing ballet and just loving it. And the studio I went to was just really focused on fun and being a really supportive environment. And I think that's why I stuck it out for so long, because it was just all my friends were there. We got to dance together, and it was just super fun. Grew up doing that with my sister. And getting into high school, got into a lot of musical theater stuff and choreography, and got to start learning how to teach and lead others. That just really impacted me a lot and made me want to do it forever. I was like, this is the best. So grew up doing it, continued through high school, and then graduated, was a part of like a dance company for like a year and did like pretty intense training, which was still like really fun, but very different than what I was used to. And then moved out here to Hawaii to be a part of like a nonprofit, and we met there and actually got to kind of start running a dance studio with them and like learn how like the ins and outs of like what it looks like to run a dance studio. So I think that really, helped us learn so much. And then fast forward to last year when we were figuring out what was next for us, and it just seemed like the right step to start our own. And it's cool to look back because we never thought that we would have like our own business with this, but cool to see how all the pieces come together and like the right timing of it all.
Right.
So, yeah.
So when you graduated high school, you basically went full time into working for a dance company.
I danced with them, but I was also teaching at like a couple studios. So I got to like teach really little kids, and that's just so different. Like it's so fun, but I learned so much of like how do you teach 2 and 3 year olds how to dance, and how do you get them to listen and follow direction? And so I learned from a lot of amazing teachers that have been doing it for years, and got to teach different classes and with different age groups, be a part of like their big shows they would put on, and then also like dancing and training in other ways. Yeah, learned a lot those years for sure, and loved teaching like at those studios. And I think really just taught me so much about like how to teach and how to lead groups of kids.
I'm always so shocked because my daughter, who's 3, is in your class, and when I see 3-year-olds playing soccer, it's like so unorganized. Yeah. It's like they're just running all over the place. But I don't know what it is about dance or your classes, but it seems so organized, and the kids like actually listen and know what to do. So I don't know. I
think sometimes it does feel like herding cats for sure. But I mean, I think that's with that age too. It's like they've got a lot of energy, and you got to get that energy out somehow. So it's like, I think learning how to balance like the energy and the craziness with like, okay, now we listen and now we follow direction. And I mean, in no way are we perfect at it. And the biggest thing for us is that the kids are enjoying it and having a good time, and of course learning things along the way. Right. But yeah.
Did either of you pursue like performing before you decided to go into teaching?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did a lot of performing, whatever that means. Be many directions of that. No, I've done a lot of different shows. I really love like performance and stuff like that. This is like where I really am passionate about group club, is doing the performance part, like doing the showcase and all that stuff. So I'm very comfortable with that space. I also have a background of doing some acting and stuff like that. So that's kind of also like a different era of like,
I guess that's kind of where my head was going. Because you could be like, oh, I want to go work in Hollywood, or I want to go work for, professional music or Broadway or whatever. But
yeah,
so I didn't know if you guys had any stretches where you were like pursuing like performance.
Yeah, so it's just multiple things. I also, a lot of with what I'm doing on the side, DJing, MCing. I have to be up there talking in the microphone and stuff like that. So that's a really love language for me. It's just kind of be up there and perform. So just having a good time, basically.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why I asked is because at the beginning of the performance, you guys did your own performance.
Yeah.
To warm up the crowd and get the crowd going and the kids going. So I was just curious.
I was pretty hesitant on doing that for a long time, because I was like, this is not about this is about the kids. And then learning like, okay, if we go up there and do it first, it helps the kids feel less nervous. So like, oh, Miss Vivienne, Mr. Victor up there dancing, like I can do it too. Because a lot of them have never done something like that in front of a lot of people. So seeing it, of course it's fun for us too, but our purpose is not like, oh, we're going to just like do our own show now, like it's really to like inspire and encourage the kids to like, okay, now you can do it. And like, so
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I guess, how did you guys meet? And then what was the transition like moving out to Hawaii?
Yeah, we met in this nonprofit, and It was, I mean, it was 2019. We started kind of like get to know each other.
So you met
And
here.
then we met here in Hawaii. And then, the island of love, I guess, you know? So, we met and then, kind of like wanted to start date around the 2020 time, but then COVID happened, got a little separated for that time, went to Sweden. You went to Nashville. And then, it was kind of like starting up long distance, which was pretty good. And then, get to know each other. No, it was very hard. But hey, looking back, yeah, it's pretty nice. And then after the kind of like borders started opening up, I came back and then we got to actually meet. That was great, you know. So, that's kind of like started dating for real. That was 2021. We started to hang out, and then later on get engaged and everything. During that time, I think 2021 was when we started managing the dance studio together. So that was a different aspect of the relationship. You get to like get to know each other, you know. So,
I also work with my significant other, so I understand.
So we learn a lot about each other.
Yeah,
sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I guess maybe from that, I guess walk me through like how did the idea come to start your own, and I guess what did it look like when you launched the first studio? Yeah. I don't know if you call it a studio.
Yeah, I mean, you can call it studio. I feel like we keep calling it program, but it's because it's in different places. So We're at a couple different churches right now, which shout out to them. They are amazing and like the most like generous people and just want to open up the space for the community, which has been just a huge blessing to us and to so many other people I know. But yeah, we actually were working with one. We had a show at one of the churches that we're having class at in Mililani right now, Mililani Baptist. And yeah, the pastor just was like, if you guys ever want to do classes here, like we have space, it's open, like we have these classrooms that aren't used at these times, and just kind of invited us to do that, even though that's, we didn't ask at all. And so I think before it was kind of a dream of, okay, this would be cool to have our own thing one day, and like maybe travel around with it, or we didn't know if we were staying on island or moving to Sweden or what we were doing when we first got married. But when we knew we were going to be here, we're like, okay, this is an open door to, start our own thing and just see where it goes. I mean, we had no idea if people would come, and we were like, well, we'll just invite them and see if any kids show up. And yeah, so that's been super amazing to just meet the families and like hear their stories. We have like a lot of military families, a lot of local families, and people that are here for just like a year or so. And so we just want it to be like, a space for all of them, even if they're just joining for a season and moving or whatever. So
I guess like how did you get the word out on the first program? Did the pastor would do some of the marketing for you, or what did that first?
We invited a lot of the families we knew and had met over the years that had been in and out of classes, and then just tried our best to post on social media. I mean, we don't, we're not social media people, but we have tried to learn some of that too. Like, how do we get the word out, and running an ad, and what does that look like? Just like these small steps of what do we do to tell people. And we've had the most success just like word of mouth, honestly, and like people telling their friends, and then they bring their kids, and that's been so fun, of just like all the parents that have helped us grow it in that way too.
Yeah, I mean, the moms up in North Shore, they really like to talk, so that's kind of the growth. The whole, most of the people, because I usually ask them when they come back, to like see kind of like a little bit of a statistics of that. So then they usually say, oh, it's a friend of mine, or Instagram. That's been the two kind of main ones, but definitely a friend of theirs. So could be a kid to sign up, and maybe they're not interested, but their friend came along and they're really interested. So it's a lot of like that.
So you started in Mililani. Yeah. How many classes were there? What classes were you teaching? And then I guess when did you think about opening up a second location?
Well, we started, so we had this open door in Mililani, so we started classes there, or we were planning to start classes there, but we knew a lot of families that lived up here that were, looking for dance in this area. And so then we started looking for spaces up here, got connected with Wailua United, and they were like, yeah, we have these open times. So then we started both of those locations, like our first semester, Mililani and Wailua, and that was great. I mean, a lot of the families, just reached out to us like, hey, we want something up here. And so that was great. And then this semester we started in Kapolei because another family there had a connection with the church there and was like, we have space, and kind of the same thing in Mililani, which super amazing, grateful for them. So that's our newest.
Seems like a good partnership. They just keep giving you guys space.
They're so kind. I'm so grateful. Yeah, you want to talk about the classes and what classes we had?
Well, yeah, we have plenty of different kinds of classes, but mostly it's ballet and hip hop. And then with the preschool kind of deal, it's more like a creative, fun, kind of like learning just to kind of follow the dance and have a good time. But usually ballet and hip hop is the main focus now. Maybe there's some other aspects of stuff. We're open to maybe expand on other styles too, but that will be probably a future thing.
Curious, how did you guys land on hip hop and ballet?
I mean,
those are like our
background, right?
The ones that we like are the most familiar and like. Yeah, I guess that's...
Yeah.
And they're I think, too, most common that I feel like people are interested in.
Yeah.
At least within the families that we already knew. So, but yeah, we're open to, like, expand more styles and bring other teachers in. And, like, it would be awesome to, like, host a hula class and bring in, like, a teacher for that. And, like, just see it expand outside of those two. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's what you guys like doing, and that's what you had background in, so... You went for it. So did you guys have any like startup expenses, or it seems like you were just able to like get this again going off, get it off the ground like pretty like easily.
It's pretty easy. I mean, we just got a speaker and we just needed a floor basically. That's all. No, in the beginning, I mean, you went from a dance studio where you have mirrors and AC and all these stuff. You're like, okay, so we're doing our own thing. What can we do? We won't be able to like do that big of an investment because we don't know how many people sign up and all that.
Right.
And then, so we just got a speaker, and that was kind of the big investment. And then like a camera, and then kind of started from there. But we had an idea of like how many people might sign up. So that helped out like to kind of create a budget in the start. I don't know how many people signed up in the beginning, but it was maybe around 50 to 60 kids, maybe something around that.
But it seems like you're partnering with churches right now, so it's like a good relationship where it's like you're bringing some of the community, they want it, and you don't have to like extend yourself to like spend a bunch of money on space.
Yeah.
And that's been great too, because then I feel like it's allowed us to really focus on like the purpose in it all is like investing in these kids, and I think being in a space where we are like stressed every month trying to make rent or something would have been like a much harder start, which I know is what other people go through with, different types of businesses. But it's been cool to just see it work in a different way. I mean, I've never seen or been a part of like a studio like this or a program like this. I know that they exist out there somewhere, but I think it's been cool to see, okay, this works outside of just a dance studio space. Like we don't, the kids don't really care if there's mirrors or if there's a fancy floor or lights. Like that's all fun and exciting too, but it's, cool to see them have fun just wherever they are and get to learn.
And it's cool because like, this is a kind of like non-conventional, I guess, model for a dance company. It kind of just like came up organically and now you're like growing it. So I think that's cool. Curious about choreography. Like how do you, like, have you guys, it sounded like you'd done that a little bit, but creating dance is a lot different than like dancing and teaching dance. Like, I guess how did you guys learn how to do that? How do you come up with these dances?
Great question. Sometimes when I'm, YouTube videos, get some inspiration, just like, I think it's fun because I think we do that part a lot together, even if I'm the main one teaching it, like in the ballet classes or whatever, you know, we'll work on it together and get to like, okay, what if we do this? Like, can we bring in something different here? And like cutting the music, Victor does all of that. Like, I think it's been a good collaboration with like, okay, when I'm like, I don't know, I'm stuck here, then I feel like he will bring ideas in or vice versa. So yeah, that's been fun. And I think that's a good challenge, at least for me, for sure, of like pushing different choreography and like trying different things and making it exciting for them. And yeah, but I taught at a few studios and then like choreographing musicals. That was like through high school when I did that. I think I got to learn, okay, how do you put moves to music? And yeah, I think the musical aspect really comes in now because a lot of kids' songs, it's like you're mimicking what the words are saying a lot of the time, especially with like preschoolers. So it's like sunshine, like go to sleep, you know? So I think musical theater stuff has really helped me at least, but I don't know, choreography.
Oh, but for me, I mean, I'm really like freestyling. It's like more like, you know, comes from the air basically, you know, for me. It's, so I don't, my strength is not probably in that. It's more like the whole freestyling part. So usually I play a song, I do the moves and I just forget it right after, you know. It's more, I'm kind of the guy they throw in the middle of a dance circle and I just do my thing. And then I have to like maybe film it to kind of find the moves. That's maybe my idea. But it's a lot of more like feeling for me. That's why I have a hard time with counting. You know, you do counts, you know, up to 8, the 8s and stuff like that. I just go with feeling. I think that's
in a
just
second language too, it's probably a little harder. Like,
well, yeah, I think that's
counting in Swedish or something.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of just, you know, dance, improv, and all that stuff. It's kind of the strength on my end, and that we implement that a lot in our classes. We make that like a good priority for the kids to kind of feel like that freedom of like find their own style, basically. Even if they're 3 years old or 12 years old, to kind of like be like comfortable to find their own style, basically.
Well, that brings me to my next question. Like, what would you say like your dance or I guess like philosophy is for like teaching?
Great question. Wow, that is a good question. What is your dance philosophy?
Or just teaching in general?
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's a lot more about fun and enjoying the process. And you know, you have a performance. I love performance stuff, but it doesn't need to be this great thing. It just needs to be like you enjoy the process of it, like learned a lot through it. So I think a lot of the things we do in the classes not only like teach dance, but just, you know, find that enjoyment in the dance, but also like create kind of like friendships and community with the classes. Like we do stuff to kind of build, you know, bridges between these kids too. So overall, I mean, yeah, you can be very strict about it. And I think we're a little bit more laid back than most studios, but I think people really enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah, I think for me, I agree as well. But I think too is like learning how each kid and each student learns, and like every class is different and every kid is different. So like it's not this copy paste of like, okay, this worked in the class last week, so we're gonna do it again. Like learning each kid and like, okay, you love whether it's like freestyle or picking up the choreography or doing different techniques, like finding what's gonna like excite them, challenge them, but also just, I think the biggest thing too is like a lot of my friends, this is maybe sidebarring, but I had a lot of friends that grew up in a very strict dance studio setting, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, there's definitely people that want that type of structure, but I think the reason that I love it so much is because of how I grew up in it. And like my dance teacher was like my biggest role model and just taught us so many life skills. And it was way more than just a dance class. It was, yeah, learning how to communicate and follow directions. I feel like we've said friendships like 50 times in this whole video, but like all these other things. And like, yes, dance is the focus, but it's all these other parts that make it like so special. And so I think dance philosophy, I feel like that's my philosophy, is like wanting to, yeah, take what I've learned from like my biggest mentors and just creating my own version of that, like with these kids, and or our own version of that, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's kind of,
I mean, ballet is known to be rigid, and
yeah.
it's not, you know, I don't think it's that.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, there's totally like, you know, we respect, and, you know, if people want to pursue that, like we want to be their biggest fan in that too. But I think it just, for us, was never like the reason why we wanted to pursue it. Was never like, okay, competitive, like I want to be the best. Like it was all these other things that made it special, I think. So,
Yep, I would agree. And as a parent, I would also say the recital at the end is special. Just curious from your guys' perspective, like hosting an event with like 300 to 500 people, that's like a lot different than, you know, your day-to-day running classes. Like, I guess what is that like for you?
Dude, it's like, it's so funny with Hawaii, you know, it's like, so if you're in Sweden, if you have a showcase in Sweden, maybe the parents are coming, but maybe not. So the crowd is not like that, big usually.
Or like supportive.
Yeah, or whatever. It's kind of like, oh, whatever, you know, but then here it's like everyone's inviting their aunties, their uncles, their cousins. So the size of the room needs to be bigger, you know, every time. So that was a kind of a big cultural shock for me. Maybe it's just like how massive it got pretty quickly in that sense. But yeah, I mean, we very, like I mentioned before, very comfortable doing this stuff. We kind of know how to run certain things. Vivienne had done a lot of big shows with just organizing and all that stuff. She's very good with the planning and structure and all that stuff. And I'm more on that end of creative and like fun and like what can we do in the show to kind of make it flow in a different way. So that's kind of our strength in that. And then, I mean, you know, we're going to go 100%, even if it's like 300 people attending or 50 people attending. We're trying our best to kind of give a full on like experience, you know.
And right now, is it just you two, or do you have any help?
It's just us now for the actual classes.
And then we have awesome like student helper, Eden, that is helping with pretty much all of our classes, especially the preschool ones. And she is the best. She's jumped right in, and the kids love her, and she takes her own classes too. And so that's been fun to bring her in. And we definitely would love to have like more teachers and more people a part of it at some point. I think it's just, you know, finding the right fit. And for the shows, we just recruit all of our friends. Cool, and they're all excited and want to be a part of it too, which is really fun. But it is different when you have all the kids in one room, when you're used to having like 10 at a time. And you're like, okay, it's fun.
So I'm like a math guy, business guy. I was looking at your website. It's like you guys have like, I think 10 classes going right now. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you have 8 to 10 kids per class. Yeah. And then you do that once a quarter, right?
Yeah. It's been,
So it's like you have like probably over 100 kids coming through every quarter. It's grown pretty quickly. So like, I guess like, is this like your full-time thing? Like, are you guys planning on, I guess, where do you see this business going? Because it's like expanded pretty quickly.
Well, we both work other jobs on the side. And I think that when we started it, that was definitely, I mean, we wanted to start this up, but we wanted to, be able to support ourselves. And I think, I don't know if the goal is to do it full time. I don't know if we're this is not me quitting. I don't want to quit my job. But I think obviously it's amazing that it's growing, and I think we're learning as it's growing, like what is the next step, and would love to make it just a full-time thing, and what does that look like? And it's just worked out, honestly, with the schedule of everything. We do this 3 days a week that we have classes, and then we're working other days of the week. So we've been able to balance it pretty good. I don't know how long we'll do this type of schedule for, if it does continue to grow and we add more days and things like that. Yeah, we're learning and seeking lots of advice and counsel on just the right way to do it, because we've never done this before.
I mean, I had a real estate investing business on the side of my full-time job for like 7 years. I'm just curious how you guys are thinking about that.
Right. No, definitely excited about like the growth of it and where it will go, and just trusting the process too. I think it's easy to just like jump ahead and be like, okay, we need to like add more classes or do this and this and this. And I think we're just trying to make smart decisions and like wise decisions in how we grow it, because our goal is not to have the most kids in our classes. We want it to be like intentional, and each kid to feel that when they come. So I think that's where bringing in other teachers and people would help with that growth too.
No, I think we managed to balance it pretty well. It's also very nice when your side hustle job is very cool with you doing what you're doing as well. I feel like with both of our jobs, they're very accepting, like they think it's like an awesome thing. So they are very much, I will say, flexible with our schedule, which I'm very thankful for in that sense. And that makes it easy. And it's also, I feel like, I really enjoy both of the stuff we're doing. So it's been working out very well. There's a lot of weeks where we're off maybe once a week, or like one day a week, and then and I feel like a lot of people that are in business here in Hawaii are like, you're working all the time, you don't really enjoy Hawaii, and certain weeks it would be like that, but the payoff is worth it as well. When you get that time off, you really get to enjoy go to the beach or have a hike or whatever, just to have like those days as well. So
what do you guys like to do for fun other than dance?
What do we do? We go to a lot of coffee shops, thrifting,
coffee. Obviously, we're not the best surfers, but we like it. Those are the main things, honestly.
And hang out with friends,
be with people.
So that's kind of the routine we go into a little bit.
Sweet. Any upcoming like projects or things with the business that you guys are excited about?
Well,
well, we are in the works of starting an adult hip hop class. So that's something we did before years ago and have been trying and wanting to bring it back. So we've just been like looking for the right space for that, because that is a different type of space that I think is helpful. Like when there's mirrors and you're able to like see what you're doing, that's definitely more helpful and needed when you're doing adult classes. So that's in the works, and hopefully, we can get that going, because we missed that, and that's really fun to have a different type of challenge with choreography and like pushes us in a different way. So excited about that. And,
is the plan for that to be on the North Shore?
Wahiwa as of now, but open to multiple locations with that as well, where the need is and like what's available. And I know we're collaborating with different people to see like what works with scheduling and all of that, but would love to have something up here for sure. We've talked about that like this whole year. Starting this, we were like, we need to do an adult class up here. It'd be so fun.
Yeah, I think the most affirmation we got with the business is up here in North Shore, with people like the families being so thankful, like, oh, thank you for being just down the street from us. That's like that we noticed the most affirmation on that end. So we definitely see the need here in this area.
Well, I think the North Shore in general, there's just a huge gap in like organized activities for kids. Like where I grew up in LA, like you have your pick of what you want to do, you know. But here it's like surfing and soccer, but maybe not until they're like 5 years old, and there's just limited options. So yeah, I know, like when we found out about it, it's like everyone just jumped on it. I'm just curious, just like working with kids, have there been any like funny moments that jump out at you?
Every day there's funny moments. We need to do better about like making a list. I feel like the recent one has been a lot of the kids calling Victor Miss Victor. That has happened a lot.
It happens, man.
They're like, so is Miss Victor coming? And that's like become his name now.
I just roll with it. It's okay.
Sage calls you Miss Victor.
Yeah, that's right.
Like maybe she started it.
I think she started some kind of rumor.
She's such a leader in the class.
Yeah, that's a funny thing.
Well, I think in your boys' class.
Yeah, they're very funny. It's also interesting to have, because, you know, I have a lot of local boys there, and then they see this like Swedish guy in there, like with his accent, to get super scared the first class, all of them crying and stuff. And then so I started to warm up, and I'm like, I'm a nice guy, I promise, you know. So that's like a lot of funny moments in that. Yeah, with kids, I mean, they're like, their world is like a whole different world. Like you get to live in it for a moment when you have the classes. The whole like everything is so new, and you get to like be part of experiencing that in some way. So it's fun to like see them testing your boundaries, I guess. It's like fun. It's a fun way to like experience like a kid's imagination, basically. So yeah.
All right, I have 2 questions that I ask everyone just to kind of close it out. Yeah, the first one is, do you have any favorite, like, either North Shore businesses or just businesses on Oahu that maybe people might not know about?
Great question. Honestly, both of our jobs are side jobs, our main jobs.
Yeah, let's talk about those.
Bird's Nest Coffee, where I work, amazing place, amazing people, just, incredible to be a part of the team there. And I've learned, so much. And it's just cool to be a part of the community and get to like see people come in every day. And I think that has also tied into even with dance stuff and meeting people through that, which has been awesome. And
my daughter was up on the table at Bird's Nest yesterday dancing.
Yeah, she had a performance in there. It's so funny.
Well, where I work at is pretty different than working with kids. I work at a rum distillery as a tour guide. So at Kohana Distilleries, so it's the agricole rum. So I do tours over there. So that's kind of like a good way to kind of always perform, I guess, but have a good time. But I really love that job. It's incredible. It's very good. Like we learn a lot, like how to greet customers and stuff. So the vibe is always great when people get there. So that's on Kania Road. If you go there, and you will get.
That's a good tip for a business to check out.
Yeah,
a lot of people I feel like haven't been there.
No. So.
Yeah, you should go on Victor's tour.
I've been there for a tasting, but I haven't done a tour. So
well, I'm your guy.
Yeah, Victor can be your guide.
Here we go. Might have to get them on the podcast too.
Oh yeah.
Last question: do you have any like overarching advice for someone who might want to start their own business, specifically in Hawaii on the North Shore?
I mean, I think overall with what we're doing, it's kind of naturally happened, and it's great. But also, we started with not any money at all, basically. But I think if you really have a dream, you want to do it, I think you can find ways. Like you don't maybe have to have all the equipment, like the expensive equipment. You can maybe start small and let it kind of grow in that way. So I think in Hawaii, if you have something you're really passionate about, I think there's definitely a way to find that and make it happen.
Yeah. Seeing like being creative about different ways to start it. And I think also like having a good support team of people that are like encouraging you, whether they're directly involved or just family or friends. I mean, we have so many people that don't live here, but are just like encouraging us and supporting us. And I think that has just helped us in a lot of ways too, of like feeling, okay, when we feel discouraged, like those are people that have like lifted us up and reminded us of the goal and things like that, I think is super important and helpful. So.
Makes sense. I mean, when that pastor first came to you and was like, hey, you should do a dance class here, you guys easily could have just been like, oh, we're busy, we're doing other things, like maybe we'll do that in a few years. But you just did it, and then now, you know, look what it's turned into. So
sometimes you just gotta go for it, even though you don't have all the answers and you don't know what it's gonna look like. Just take the risk and trust the process.
Well, I think that's a wrap.
Great.
Cool.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us.
All right, appreciate it.